Affinity is on your left. Blue-red Gift Storm is on your right.
Looks like Elenbogen going back for 6.
Yeah, it looks like Cooper's happy enough with his hand. Elenbogen could be your lone Affinity player in the top 8 here this weekend. We'll see. Keep in mind, at the conclusion of this round, we're going to take our customary hour-long break, show you about 30 minutes of deck techs, replays, trivia, all that good stuff, and then after the first 30 minutes, that's when you at home get to vote on our quarterfinals, so long as you're a member of the SCG Tour feature match area on Twitch. So, of course, we want to thank everybody for watching at home this weekend, but for those of you who would like to help vote on the quarterfinals, and we've got at least one rogue deck in 5-color humans in there, in the hands of Collins Mullen, and we'll find out what else is in there about 40 minutes from now, maybe 45. Going to be some interesting stuff here. I think this top 8's going to be fun to cover. Elenbogen, top card goes to the bottom. Serum Visions. Split the Scry, kick it back. Blinkmoth Nexus, Signal, Pest, Mox, Opal, Elenbogen will pass the turn back over to Cooper Johnson. Serum Visions number 2. Is he on the hunt for lands? We'll find out soon enough. Scry 2. Grape Shot among those cards. One's going to go on top, other card's going to go on the bottom. Cooper Johnson does have a Shivan Reef in hand. He's also got a basic Mountain. He'll play that Mountain. He'll pass the turn back over to Elenbogen. He's off to a slow start. Second Nexus. This is a Signal Pest. This might be a Springleaf Drum.
I think this draw from Elenbogen will be hard pressed to defeat Great Shot.
Might be hard.
Setting aside actually getting killed by it.
Yeah, because his hand's not very good. He's got a Springleaf Drum, a Spire of Industry, and a Galvanic Blast. That's it. He'll play the drum. He'll pass the turn. So he needs to draw like Arcbound Ravager, Steel Overseer, Master of Ethereum if he's playing them this weekend, which he is playing 2 in his main. I suppose Edge Champion would be okay, and of course Cranial Plating is always great, but here's Grape Shot, as you mentioned, along with Baral, Chief of Compliance. This will be a Galvanic Blast with Metalcraft to take care of Baral. So down that goes, but down goes Elenbogen's permanents as well. Big draw step here.
Now Johnson doesn't have a whole lot of setup here, but you got a lot of time.
There's Arcbound Ravager. It's a little late. Going to activate Blinkmoth Nexus, come across for 1. Pass that turn back. Elenbogen does have Metalcraft. He obviously would have loved to have that a turn ago. Goblin Electromancer looks like the draw here for Cooper. Cooper with a Lightning Bolt in hand. Electromancer, Shivan Reef, Sleight of Hand. He'll start with Sleight of Hand off of the Spire Bluff Canal. 2 cards.
Is that a Shattering Spree?
No, I don't think so. Desperate Ritual. Oh, actually, no, it is. Desperate Ritual, Bolt, and Shattering Spree. Well, that makes things a little more difficult, sure. Steel Overseer. Turn on Blinkmoth Nexus. Attack step. No blocks here from Cooper. No moves made from Andrew. So back over to Cooper, who does have Shattering Spree, as you mentioned. Looks like Steam Vents was the draw.
Well, the spree is a little bit complicated here because Elenbogen can just sacrifice everything in question and move over to a Nexus.
Well, Bolt will take care of that.
Yeah, you have to open with Bolt, and then you get everything.
Well, no, if he just sprees everything. If
he can do it either order. It works either way.
Yeah, if he sprees Mox, Drum, Overseer, Ravager, and then Elenbogen eats the stuff and tries to put it on the Nexus.
You bolt the Nexus.
You bolt the Nexus and everything's taken care of. And I think that's exactly the chain of events we're going to see here. So here comes the eating of artifacts, because this is really the only play that Elenbogen can make. Now Shattering Spree is going to resolve. Modular is going to target Blinkmoth Nexus. Lightning Bolt's going to target Blinkmoth Nexus in response to the Modular. And there goes Elenbogen's battlefield.
Although still worth noting that Cooper Johnson, all he's got going on now is this and a Desperate Ritual. He draws to a lot of stuff, but it's not impossible for Elenbogen to come back from the spot.
Oh, there's Vault Scourge. That's a start.
Now the race is good.
Yeah, for Elenbogen, it's actually just flat good. Another Desperate Ritual. In. Fire Blinkmoth, get in here for 2. Johnson down to 10, Elenbogen up to 15. There's another Blinkmoth, okay. Gifts ungiven the draw.
That's game.
It only took one.
Yeah.
It only took one.
No, I mean, I'm not exaggerating.
No, I know. The game is over now.
Now
the game is over. Yeah.
Now it's over. It looked like Elenbogen had a shot. I mean, there was nothing going on, but Cooper Johnson gets a lot of draws at it and just hit it. Going to game 3 here in a moment.
We'll see the usual song and dance here from our Storm player. There's a little bit of ritual action into gifts. Likely for Past in Flames, Manamorphose, Ritual. Grape Shot already in the graveyard, so he's got his win condition down there. And Elenbogen is empty-handed, so there's nothing he can do about it. So we're going to let Cooper Johnson let it fly. This deck, very powerful, folks. Very, very powerful.
There's no split. Don't stress on it.
Yeah, I wouldn't stress on this too much. Pyretic and Past in Flames going to go to Cooper Johnson's hand.
All roads lead to the same place.
Indeed they do, which is game number 3, unless something goes horribly wrong. There's Past in Flames.
Well, and if you're going to make me go through this, I'm definitely Shattering Spree in your Vault Scourge. I'm running it up.
I was going to say,
if you're going to do this.
The victory lap?
If I'm going to do this, your Vault Scourge is not ending this game in play.
Mm-hmm. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. So you see all the rituals there. Pyretic. Cooper's going to be careful. Up his storm count. All of his mana, all that stuff. Elenbogen more or less waiting to die here, which makes a lot of sense. But
make him go through it, I guess.
You're playing for top 8. Might make some sort of egregious error.
Yeah, but your time is a limited resource.
No, your time is a limited resource. Your time is a limited resource. We know how you manage your time and how you value it.
Differently than some of these people.
Here's another Manamorphose. Spell 11. There's bolts down there, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Grape Shot and bolts. Yeah, okay. I mean, I know the game is over. I know Cooper's going to win.
I know you know. He's even got an Electromancer attack still left.
That's just
Even if he messed up by a point, he'd still be able to make it up.
Yep. I do agree with Shattering Spree. I do agree with that.
Yeah, let him know.
Or target the Vault Scourge with 1 Grape Shot. Just a little touch there, and mostly up to you.
Just a taste. Just a sample.
Sideboards here for both players. Elenbogen is going to be on the play here. He's got 2 Rule of Law, which obviously great in this matchup. 2 Ancient Grudge, 2 Edge Champion, 2 Gear Power Aether Grid, 2 Grafdigger's Cage, 2 Spell Pierce, Bitter Blossom, Thoughtseize, Dispatch. Talk to me.
Thoughtseize, Spell Pierces, Grafdigger's Cage, Rule of Law. Solid sideboard.
Cooper Johnson, 4 pieces of the puzzle, 3 Lightning Bolt, 2 Shattering Spree, 2 Empty the Warrens, 2 Dispel, a Wipe Away, and a Dismember.
Sprees, bolts, stuff we saw.
Stuff we're used to, stuff we saw.
Would not empty.
I don't think you need to empty.
He can't interact with spells all that easily.
Yeah.
I think your combo is pretty solid here.
Well, these players are playing for top 8 right now. Winner's going to make it. Loser's going to be outside looking in. So what are they playing for money-wise, SCG Tour points-wise? Well, let's talk about it. Winner of this match, assuming they make top 8, they're breakers with their friends. Lock it in, $500, 15 SCG Tour points, and an invite to that Season 2 Invitational in Roanoke, Virginia at the Berglund Center. Top 4, that means you won your top 8 match. That means you're going to get $1,000 now. And if you make it to the finals, you're playing for $5,000, 30 SCG points, an invite to that Season 1 Invitational. Maybe you're the Season 2 points leader. Get yourself some cool cards here on the SCG Tour like Todd Stevens did in Season number 1, edging out SCG writer, fan favorite, and Spider-Man enthusiast, Brendan DeCandio. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Affinity. See you at the Pro Tour. It's my deck.
Just dust it off.
Me and Alex Magilton are going to just go down on some people, just smush them.
Alex Magilton and his playset of extremely weathered Arcbound Ravagers.
Alex, if you're listening, can we break out the Frogmites?
His Ravagers look like my Lightning Bolts.
His Ravagers are a mess.
I'm surprised they are tournament legal.
Yeah, they are a mess. His Frogmites also have a lot of wear. Can we just go back to the days of Frogmite and Mirror Enforcer? Is that just too much to ask?
You can play whatever you want. They're legal, right? It's your tournament.
Turn 2 4/4 in most instances, I would hope.
Right.
Also, can't push that.
Yeah, good luck with Fatal Push.
7 mana. Then they play a Tarmogoyf that's a 4/5, and we can't possibly win.
Right.
But that's okay.
And you like think back on your testing and wonder why this never came up.
It doesn't even have to be Tarmogoyf.
Like, it's weird, right? Like this should have come up at some point. It's just not that big.
The best is it doesn't even have to be Tarmogoyf. They're just like, I don't know, play Tassiger. You also can't attack. So there's that. It's okay. I'm digging Affinity. It's one of my jams. But we're going to play it out. All right, let's do it. Game 3 for it all. Inkmoth Nexus, Mox Opal, Memnite, Vault Scourge. He's on the board early. This is okay. That's the kind of start you got to have.
Well, without Ravager plating, you are just waiting for Grape Shot to end you. Which is what we saw. That was basically the story of Game 2, was no big payoff cards, and then just play into a big Grape Shot. Bought Johnson a ton of time.
That was also Cooper's first draw step.
And now his second Grape Shot, too.
Is that fun? Might be for Cooper. To Elenbogen we go. Does he have a payoff card?
He's got a plating or a Ravager. This draw is very good.
Yes.
Without it, I'm suspicious of his ability to beat Grape Shot.
Elenbogen going to climb up to 18. Is it Ravager? That's the question. Steel Overseer.
Well, the good news here is this might just force a Grape Shot now for 1 on the Steel Overseer. That's a small victory.
I think it does force that, as Johnson's going to fall down to 13.
Because the next turn, what are you Grape Shotting,
Yeah.
And you take so much damage. It's unpleasant if you're Johnson, but... And he had to play Steam Vents. Oh no.
Well, this is interesting because he's going to Grape Shot for 2, so he's going to kill Thing. This is probably still fine because if he has a land next turn, he can play Electromancer plus Grape Shot.
Yeah.
And still clean up everything else.
But that is a win of sorts for Elenbogen. He was able to get a Steam Vents played untapped.
Going to play Grafdigger's Cage. Down to 11 goes Johnson. Johnson's going to untap now. Lightning Bolt. Take a look at Grafdigger's Cage. We will too. As Cooper Johnson wants to make sure he knows exactly how that card's going to work in this matchup. There's Baral, Chief of Compliance. Creatures can't enter the battlefield from graveyards or libraries. Players can't cast cards in graveyards or libraries, so it's going to shut down Pest and Flames. Bzz.
I know it's hard to cut your sideboard cards, but I'm suspicious of this once you've seen Shattering Spree. Just like having a thing sitting in play, not adding to the clock feels like not the best strategy against Shattering Spree.
Ornithopter, the play. Another lightning bolt drawn here for Cooper. He's going to play Electromancer and pass the turn back. Does Elenbogen have another Galvanic Blast? Well, he has something because he's waiting. Wow.
Well, I think he was thinking about maybe just saving it.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Here's Thoughtseize. That. Boy, how do 2 bolts, Grape Shot, Wipe Away, Brawl.
I mean, I have to imagine it's Grape Shot.
I'm almost positive it's Grape Shot.
I mean, Grape Shot plus Grafdigger's Cage, with the Grape Shot gone and Grafdigger's Cage in play, it does constrain Johnson quite a bit until, if and when he finds Shattering Spree.
Yep. I also kind of like taking Brawl for some reason.
Just you're leaving him on removal again, and your deck's just all threats.
Yeah.
I think there's an argument to that.
I'm also a little scared of just like if Cooper draws land 3 and just going Brawl, Grape Shot, kill 2 things. But maybe I should just be taking Grape Shot then. I tell you this, it's definitely not Wipe Away. Whoa!
Whoa. I think the Wipe Away only makes sense here if you're thinking, I've got to protect Grafdigger's Cage, but he's already shown Shattering Spree.
All right, well, it is Wipe Away for Andrew Elenbogen. Another Brawl drawn.
All right, well, good thing he didn't take Brawl.
That's true. There's the 1-3. Pass the turn back. Let's see what this is. Gonna fire Pink Moth Nexus. Gonna go a little this way.
Oh, we can go back to player gets 10 poison count. My bingo board.
An unconventional way to do it. Johnson has picked up a Serum Visions.
Johnson falling into Galvanic Blast range at this point.
Yeah, Elenbogen's already used 2. Couple of lands here for Cooper.
The issue here is he does need the lands, but his hand doesn't really go anywhere right now. So one on top, one on the bottom makes sense to me. You want to draw a land next turn, you're at least fine with it. And after that, you need something that isn't mana. So now Johnson looks like he's debating, you know, you can Grape Shot here and clear out. I imagine he just wants to get the Flyers off the battlefield if he's doing this.
He can just clear it all out, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you're doing this, the priority is you're worried about something like Cranial Plating and Arcbound Ravager, you still respect Ornithopter as a threat.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, Bolt there, Storm Count goes up to 3, and then Grape Shot these away. And dust up Elenbogen a little bit.
The thing is, I don't know why you're going out of your way to kill the Memnite. Because let's say the worst case scenario is Elenbogen draws a Cranial Plating to pair with his Memnite, and suddenly you have to trade. Well, you got a second Brawl in your hand. Now, it's actually good for you to be trading in that spot.
I guess you can make one argument of, well, he's shutting off Mox Opal this way. That's not going to last forever.
But the clock here is so slow. And there's so many things that turn it on. I don't see that as a high priority.
Welding Jar. I don't disagree with you. Uh-oh. Poison Strat.
And now he's just on, I mean, he's on nothing now. He has a Bolt in his hand that trades with a Welding Jar maybe. Another Baral. And he just felt like a lot of resources went into a Grape Shot that wasn't necessary to hit that hard.
Back over to Elenbogen.
So I just don't think a Memnite is worth any card in your hand in that spot.
Andrew felt very strongly about that Thoughtseize taking a wipe away. Got to remember that.
As a reminder, 4 PM Legacy players who are next round pairings have gone up on the white.
And don't have a good idea of what cards he's working with.
Please make your way to your seats.
Although now with Welding Jar, I mean, Shattering Spree is a lot harder to have take care of the Graph Digger's Cage. That's something.
Here's no attack for 1.
Although I suppose Elenbogen is so light on artifacts in total that just send it all there if you wanted to.
I'm curious what Elenbogen has. He didn't attack with Inkmoth?
I think my guess is he wants the jar to protect the Graph Digger's Cage.
Up to 3 infect, but he's willing to attack this turn. Maybe he has a land to play? Okay, there's Blinkmoth Nexus. Huh. Shattering Spree. One, two, might be 2 copies over there. How does regeneration last the whole turn, right?
Yeah, he can jar. Yeah, he can. He can jar one thing.
Yeah.
Alternatively, Johnson could have just said everything at Graph Digger's Cage or everything at Mox Opal, and then the Welding Jar doesn't work. But I guess all the artifacts at this stage are of roughly the same value, and Johnson's just happy getting any of the 2 of them rather than the one of his choice.
There's Mox. Here's Blinkmoth. Aha. And,
ooh, a race on both sides.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Gets his point of damage in while he can. 5 and 4 infect here for Cooper Johnson. Sleight of hand. Yeah, that's the sort of stuff he needs right now. Manipulation. Look at 2 of them. Island. Spire Bluff Canal.
But now he's down to just, I think, 1 Shattering Spree in the deck to get this to get this Graph Digger's Cage off the battlefield.
Let's go back over to Elenbogen. He'll draw.
Yeah, I was not a huge fan of the wipe away play. Neither were you, but Elenbogen getting paid out here for putting a high priority on that Graph Digger's Cage, because I'm not sure, even if Johnson draws pretty well from here, it's not going to be easy for him to get out from under this.
Elenbogen trying to figure out which way to go here.
This is a last call for registration for the 4 PM
The Mox is on now. Here's Ravager. Okay, that's good.
Legacy Challenge. Please make your way to the site event registration stage.
I don't see a big impetus to.
Ooh. Another Mox maybe? Yeah, okay.
Okay, that's, yeah,
okay, that
sure.
makes sense.
Yeah, that's fine.
In for 1. He knows about the bolt, so he's not going to make a move.
Right. But next turn, he can move the Ravager to a 3/3 and just attack with that and force something.
Yes.
A chump block with Baral or the use of the bolt, and then he can move as he wishes.
I am right now ready to hand out some events at the center of the stage. Come on down.
Shivan Reef. Johnson just has to pass the turn back. Elenbogen's going to draw. Heck of a game right here.
Yeah, this has been a good one. I mean, I feel like you just fire up. Well, I guess it depends on what the draw step was.
Down at 12.
And I think Elenbogen wants to leave a mana and a Nexus back. So if Johnson rips another Shattering Spree, he can just move everything over to one of his lands.
How about this?
And now I'm sacking maybe an Opal here just to get the Ravager to a 3/3.
Yeah, I think so. I'd be happy. I think I'd be happy killing Baral in this
Well,
instance.
you might as well. I mean, you kind of want to be threatening lethal with the Ravager anyway. And what do you need the mana for? I guess at this point the mana represents a lot of his draw steps because it's his only colored source of mana. He can sack the Vault Scourge. He doesn't need the other flyer, I suppose.
I think he'd rather have the mana than the flyer.
I agree. And also, he has a lot of draws like Thoughtseize or Galvanic Blasts that are just lights out if he keeps the Opal. But
well, he's going to let the Opal go. Going to turn Archon Ravager to a 3-3. All right, so there's that. Pass the turn back. Cooper Johnson will draw. Opt. Scry 1. Can that new card save him? That ain't it.
I mean, it's got to be Shattering Spree. I think that's the only card he can really find here.
Well,
okay. Okay. Because he has Bolt plus Shattering Spree again. So he can kill the 3 artifacts here, the 2 creatures, and the Grafdigger's Cage, and then use the Bolt to take care of the Nexus, whatever one he moves the Ravager counters onto. Although now he is still not out of the woods.
No, not even close.
He has a Brawl in hand against nothing, but he's gotten the Grafdigger's Cage off of the battlefield.
Love it.
I love doing this.
Love it.
Because it represents lethal if it sticks, but if he has a bolt in response, you have your damage dealing Nexuses. That's great movement there from Elenbogen.
Draw card. In. Put it 2. he's really just trying to work him over here, folks. With these an Ornithopter, huh?
And you're sweating a lot of draws.
Yes, you are. Gibson giving us very bad news. Electromancer and Brawl.
I mean, you just cast him.
You got nothing else to do. Just a little surprised not to see Electromancer be cast there. Fired in there. Can Elenbogen fade one more draw step as there's a Glimmer Void. Here we go. He's going to draw Pyretic Ritual. I cannot believe this.
That isn't it.
That is not it. I cannot believe this.
Don't go through your. Don't torture this man right now. Go through your graveyard. You're just looking. Maybe he missed a Pass in Flames or something. Elenbogen has been sweating all these draws.
Can the Nexus do it? Can the Nexus cross the finish line? Yep, attack you for 1. That is going to do it. Andrew Elenbogen is going to win this match over Cooper Johnson, 2-1. Some of the most medium beats we've ever seen from Affinity. No plating, no Ravager putting a ton of counters on things.